just from this first chapter is like, no. I think this is going to be emotional.
Right off the bat, like there's tension between Carl and Joe. This is gonna be a crazy ride.
Hater. But it's just something about reading it that's a little different than like watching a TV show.
I do have a theory about this whole situation. It was something that I was kind of expecting. I feel like it's only a matter of time before you figure out the rest. Like it was like right there. And that was like, all right, why are we being so descriptive? I probably should have seen that coming, but I didn't.
Well, we are about a week into August, and I am going to start my recommendation from Lindsey, The Life We Bury, and we will see my thoughts on that. So this is a mystery thriller, and little recap, it is about this guy who has to complete a college assignment, and he has to interview somebody, and he is not doing a very good job. He winds up going to the nearby nursing home to find somebody to interview for this biography, and it turns out that the person that is being interviewed, that Joe interviews, is somebody who is only got a few months to live. He is a Vietnam veteran, but he is also on a end of life probation for being a convicted killer. So he's going to try to figure out who this true story of Carl is, and yeah, it sounds very interesting. It sounds like it's going to be a very heart-racing experience, and I'm excited. So it's already 8 o'clock. Not sure how much I'm going to get read today because I have been streaming sprints with Kat at Kat's Novel Adventures. And I'm kind of tired today. I've been doing a lot of things to get ready to go back to work, even though I don't go back till September 2nd. So I got just a little bit left in a month. I also still have one more year of classes left, and that starts again in September. I'm going to be overwhelmed. So I've been spending my days doing mostly that, and by the time I get to sit down and read at night, sometimes I don't get as much read as I want. But we still got the whole month of August, so I'm going to take my time with this, and I will check back in to let you know my thoughts. Okay, so already we're just a chapter in, and we get just a glimpse into Joe's life. So it says it on the synopsis, but he's dealing with his mother, who is erratic. She just got arrested for a DUI in chapter 1, and he's trying to manage that, but also has to take care of his brother because he is autistic, and when his mother is not doing what she's supposed to do, he has to step in and take over for being his caregiver, all while trying to go to college. And now he has to interview Mr. Carl Iverson for his project in university. So far, I think this is going to be emotional, obviously, for the topic that is going on. We did find out that it was a teenager who was attacked and murdered. And already I'm like, how can this guy have any type of redeeming qualities? Like, his whole story about Vietnam and being a hero in Vietnam, just from this first chapter is like, I no, like, you did that and it was a 14-year-old girl. No, I mean, not that her life is any less or more valuable than anyone else's life, but just no. So already I'm like, And I only read one chapter. I don't know. It's going to be a heavy read, definitely. And definitely going to be an interesting read. So I'll just have to keep going and see what happens.
Good morning. So it is Thursday and I got some things to do today. It's already a little bit later than I wanted to get out and get started. It's a little like 10 or 20 after 10. I really wanted to get stuff done this morning. But anyway, last night I got up to chapter 6 in The Life We Bury. And already right off the bat, like there's tension between Carl and Joe. You know, he asks if he can interview him and things like that. And then they had like this conversation about, you know, like his story. And Carl says, like, are you talking about killing or murdering? Because there's a difference. And then he's like, well, I've done both. So obviously that might be like something to do with what happened in Vietnam. And they get into this argument because Joe's like, well, you know, you're here because you did something horrible. And then Carl goes back at him and like starts poking at him like, you're just a kid, you don't understand. He's like, no, you have no idea the life I live and what I've been through. And so then he's like, well, see, like clearly it's not good to judge the whole story before you know it. So like clearly Carl knows how to get at him. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic. So I just made myself some coffee and I'm going to have I'm sorry for that noise. I just realized that I have an old toaster oven that is at the end of my table there and I keep meaning to like try to get rid of it. And yeah, every time I hit the table, it rattles. So sorry, I just realized that that's what that noise was. But anyway, I'm going to eat something quick for breakfast. So my mom made these muffins. They are peach muffins and they got like a glaze on top. Ooh, ha! And they got like a glaze on top. So I'm gonna have that. I'm gonna have some coffee and I'm gonna read a little bit before I head out for the day. So I will check back in. I do have a few stops to make, so obviously I am going to listen today while I'm doing my running around. And then the plan is a little bit later, once I get home, to spend the rest of the day on content creation because I have a lot of videos that have to go up. I still haven't done my July wrap up or my August pile of possibilities. And then I have some other things coming up that I want to get set up and done. You know, a special event that is coming not this Saturday, but next Friday and Saturday. So, you know, got some things going on and I got to get some of that stuff done. So I'm going to try to do a little like recording and editing later. And that's the plan for today. So I will check back in and let you know how far I've gotten, any new revelations, things like that. I'm almost finished my coffee. I read one chapter. This is gonna be a crazy ride. So he just got Lila on board with helping him, kinda. Like she's very, very adamant that this guy is, you know what, and that he should not be getting attention from you because this is what he wants and he's just gonna lie to you and paint himself as the victim and things like that. So we'll see where that goes. But she did say like, oh wait, I can help, I can get you some information or try to get you some information so that we have something to back it up and it's not just his word. So we're gonna see where this goes. I'm gonna finish up my coffee and head out. Yeah, so like I said, I got a couple of stores to get to, a couple Amazon returns. I do have a bag of books that have been sitting in the backseat of my car for a couple of weeks, so I might try to drive by one or two little free libraries and see if I can drop a couple of those off. And that's about it for right now. I'll check back in later after I've listened to some more on my errands.
All right, couple of thoughts. One, I hate Joe's mother. Hate her. I also am struggling a little bit with the fact that they're using a certain word to talk about his brother. Now, granted, this book was written 10 years ago, but yeah, that's not that long ago, considering that this word is no longer used in, like, I know legal documents and like legal diagnoses since like 2012. And I get it, like, a book is not a legal document, whatever, but still, that bothers me that this word is being used. But again, I can understand it, like, they're trying to get a point across, but it's, I don't know, it's unnecessary. But anyway, I hate his mother. We still don't know much about the truth. We just now are starting to get a little bit of Carl's story in Vietnam, and there is this person this friend that he served in Vietnam with, and he is so convinced that he is innocent. And he gives his like reasoning why. Meanwhile, everybody else is convinced that he's guilty. So what's the story? We got a glimpse into some of the court files. And it's kind of weird because I watch like these crime shows. Like, I watch Chicago PD. I watch, Law and Order, especially like Law and Order SUV. And it bothers me and it gets me like upset, like seeing it in a TV show, but it's just a little different. I don't know what makes it so different, like reading it. Like, it's hitting me more, like I don't know if I'm getting more of an emotional reaction, because either way it's an emotional and like horrible reaction, but it's just something about reading it that's a little different than like watching a TV show about it. Still trying to solve the crime and still talking about these things. So yeah, but I'm up to like chapter 18, I think, 17 or 18. So I'm about to head into the Dollar Tree. I gotta get a couple of things and then I'll continue. But have I mentioned that I hate Joe's mother? Alright, I came into Michael's because I needed a few things because I am trying something and I wanted to get a couple of things in smaller doses than in bulk. And I walked past an aisle and oh my god, I'm excited for this. I want this, but I don't know if I should get it. So they have those like book shelf in between book hits and I really want this. It's $40 and I really love this one. The only problem is it doesn't say how many like pieces or like the level, if it's like a beginner level. This is yeah, but they have a whole bunch of different ones and I want this one. This is the box. And then they have a couple of other ones, but oh my god. No comment. Okay, so I just got home, doing my running around, and I don't even know if I got everything done. Yeah, I don't know. But I did listen to a lot. I am on right in the middle of chapter 18. Well, not right in the middle. I'm like towards the end. I just needed to get out of the car though. So I have a theory. I'm not going to tell you my theory because that would be a spoiler, but I do have a theory about this whole situation. And there was a discussion with Crystal, who is the girl that was attacked and murdered, with her and I don't know if it was a teacher or I think it was a guidance counselor in the school. And that came up in the transcripts. So when they were reading that, there was something that was said that is making me think some things about Carl's guilt. Could be totally off. I don't know. But yeah. And
We still don't know things about what happened in Vietnam. We know about one story in Vietnam with his friend, and that he tried to save his friend's life. And this friend is somebody that still comes visits him in the nursing home. And I think they said that he came to visit him in prison as well. I don't remember. But yeah, so we got just a little bit of that. And Carl is starting to say some more now about something that happened in Vietnam. And I don't know if it has anything to do with this, but if Carl is innocent, which again, that's the whole premise of this book, is whether or not Carl actually did it, or if there is something more to why he did it, if this and that, like, so I'm still unsure, because he said in the beginning, right, to Joe, I've killed and I've murdered. So if it turns out that Carl did not kill Crystal, again, we don't know. As of right now, and as of the back of the book, he is guilty. And we don't, that's the whole point of Joe doing this biography, is kind of to figure out what happened. Although that's not why he started out with this. He started out writing this biography, and now he's like invested to try to figure out why every single person thinks he's guilty except for his friend. Yeah. But anyway, totally lost track of what I was saying. Yeah, so don't know where my thought was going with that. Oh, the murder versus killed comment. If it turns out that he didn't kill Crystal, did something else happen in Vietnam? That's my question. But again, we don't know any of this. This is just me talking in my theories. So yeah, I got some things to do. Ooh, they're doing my grass outside. Ugh. So sorry if you hear that. But anyway, I do have a lot of things to do upstairs now. Got some content to film. I want to get my nails done. Well, not get them done. I want to do them. Yeah, so I don't know. It's 1:30. I'm tired now. See, this is why I can't go out and do things and then come home and do the things that I gotta do at home. But anyway, we'll see what I can get done. I have to at least get some YouTube videos filmed, and we'll see if I can edit them. So I'll check back in later. Okay. I didn't get any filming done because when I came home before, I kind of fell asleep on the couch. And yeah, I had some other things that I was doing. So I did some laundry and washed the dishes, all the boring stuff. I did put together a basket for my sister-in-law's bridal shower on Saturday. Maybe I'll show you that. I still have some things to do, so when that's completely finished, I'll show you that. But it's really cute. It's a combination of Harry Potter and Batman stuff, because she's a huge Harry Potter fan and my brother's a huge Batman fan, and I found some really cute things. So now it's about 8 o'clock. I ordered myself some pizza because I wasn't hungry before, and now I am, but it's a little too late to cook. And I am going to put on a new set of nail dashes. These ones are really cute, and it's pink, so it'll match for the baby shower on Saturday. But I don't know if you could see, it's got cute little like stars, and then it's got little bows, and it's called Prim and Proper Phoebes. So these are really cute, and they are short almond, which I really like that Red Aspen makes a short almond, because the long almonds that I see with most other brands, they're just way too long, and I am a short person because I type, I'm a teacher, I need like my nails. So they came out with this short almond shape, which I absolutely love. And I usually wear like short squares, but you know, I like to change it up a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna do. And even though I do sell them, that was not a plug, but yeah. So I'm gonna work on that, and then I am going to listen to some more. I got a few more chapters in before I fell asleep, and all right, so we found out one of his stories in Vietnam. And oh man, like it was something that I was kind of expecting because one, I'm a history teacher. I have a degree in history, and even though Vietnam is not like my favorite time period to study, I do know a lot of things that go on or went on during that time. So that was a very heartbreaking scene, even though I was like kind of expecting it. His friend keeps saying that experience, something about that experience has made him into the person he is now. And there's something else that I'm still like unsure of. Like there's still something else about what happened in Vietnam. I'm sure of it. Like I know it's a gut feeling. But anyway, so that was a pretty emotional scene. And yeah, so now we're back in the present time in the interview, and Joe is trying to figure out if Mr. Iverson, if Carl did what he said he didn't do and everyone else said he did do. So I'm gonna listen to some more of that. Again, I hate Joe's mother. She's just not a good person. We do get into a little bit about why Joe has so much going on and why he has to take on the responsibility. And then he also tells his story about an event that happens to him with his grandfather, which makes him hold on to a lot of emotion and guilt. And that was a very heartbreaking part as well. So that really got to me. I read that before, but it kind of just, like ran out of my head until we started coming back to Joe's story again a little bit. So we'll see how far I get, and I will check back in a little while. I'm going to get my nails done and see how far I can get. Knew it. All right, so I finished my nails. So we got this kind of very light pink, and like I said, we got these little stars and these bows. So I thought that was so cute and perfect for baby shower for my little niece. But anyway, so we had a little bit of couple of shockers. We find out the Vietnam story, which I knew, like I figured. It's kind of like once you find out the first part of the story, I feel like it's only a matter of time before you figure out the rest. Like it was like right there. And then we got some other big information. Wow. So I think I just finished like chapter 31 or 32, somewhere around there. This book is going fast, whether I'm reading with my eyes or I'm listening on audio. Like it is a fast read, and I just want to keep going. It is almost 10 o'clock though, or it is 10 o'clock. Keisha at A Book Like You did some impromptu sprints, so I kind of just tuned in and I'm streaming that. However, I do have a 7:30 doctor's appointment tomorrow morning, so I'm not sure how much more I'm gonna get done tonight. Yeah, I might try to read like 1 or 2 more chapters and then go to bed. Now that my nails are done, I'm just gonna make sure that they're set. Sorry, that's Nugget. He's scratching and then, I don't know, trying to get on top of his cat tree. You good? He's so weird. I love him though. Like, he always struggles to get up top. And he has to get up top. You good over there? Well, good morning. So it's 9:30. It's been a busy morning already. I had a doctor's appointment at 7:30 that actually had to be rescheduled because apparently the test that my doctor ordered can't be done because it has to be done 1 year and 1 day after my last one, despite the fact that I was told otherwise. So yeah, that was a crazy morning. But I did listen, and while I was waiting in the waiting room for the hour that, I was there before they actually told me that, I got a lot more read in The Life We Bury. And oh man. So around 75-ish% through, or maybe a little less than that. Oh, hi, baby. Nugget's coming to say hi. Let's not show everyone your butt. Keep going. Anyway, come on, sit down. Nobody wants to see that. Anyway, so I listened to a lot in the car, and then I read a lot in the waiting office, and we got to a point where, like yesterday, we figured out possibly the situation. And then we get confirmation on it today. But like, I was worried. I was a little worried because it was like, okay, but like, how do we just get the information? So I was like waiting for it to be very like drawn out for the last however much of the book. Stop. Guys, I don't know what to tell you. It is a mystery, but it is also a thriller. So there was a lot of like wow moments that I read today. Yeah. So I can't wait to see what the ending of this is going to be, because everything up until now might not even still be the situation that we end up with. There still could be some big shocking twist, right? I don't know. But yeah, I did kind of fall off a little bit with like from chapter like 32 or 33-ish to where I am now, because there was a lot of description of a situation that happened. And that was like, all right, why are we being so descriptive? And that was something that I kind of felt even in the beginning. There was a lot of description, a lot of telling, not necessarily showing, but it didn't necessarily deter me because it was like, okay, it wasn't too off-putting. But these last few chapters that I read, it was a little off-putting. Like I felt that a lot of the stuff that was told to us could have been shown to us a lot simply, and still gotten the severity of the situation across. But I'm not taking that as something that's going to knock down my rating so far. We'll see how this ends. But yeah, so I am going to, being that it's still early, I'm going to try to get some work done. I wound up not meeting up with my friend because something came up, so we're going to reschedule that. And I'm going to see if I can get a couple of things done on my own. I do still have to go for a pedicure later because my sister-in-law's baby shower is tomorrow. So that is still the plan, and we'll see how much I can get done. I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish this book today. Between the pedicure, when I get my pedicure, I'm going to read, I'm going to listen on my way there, and then I'm going to take, some breaks. I do like Pomodoro method when I work, so like 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off, and in those 5 minutes, I usually like try to read a few pages and things like that. So that is the plan, and I'll let you know my overall thoughts once I finish. Right now, I'm settling on a 4-star. I'm really enjoying this. Like I said, the descriptions of everything are kind of like throwing me off a little bit. There still could be some big twist. We still got like, I think I'm at like 75% or 77% between like the ebook and the audiobook. So we will see if something else comes out towards the end, or if this is it. Now we just got to wait for this situation to resolve. I don't know, but I'm really enjoying this. It was definitely outside my comfort zone. Even though I read some thrillers and I like thrillers, it was definitely done, I felt like, a little differently. But we'll wait till the end to see if that's still the case. When will I ever learn that I can't guess the twists? I probably should have seen that coming, but I didn't. So, yeah. Well, it's Saturday.
But I finished The Life We Bury yesterday, Friday. I went to go get a pedicure because today, Saturday, was my sister-in-law's baby shower. And I finished that book in 2 days, guys. 2 days. I started it on the 6th. I finished it on the 8th. I was in the pedicure chair reading the ebook and finished it. And oh my God, like that was just, I loved it. Sorry, Nuggets being crazy again. It was just a great read. Again, it reminded me of like an episode of like SVU, Law and Order SVU, or Chicago PD, but like not from the cops' perspective, because like you do get on these shows sometimes these like civilians that want to be like, involved in the investigation and everything. I kind of wish we got a little bit more like of that, like maybe from their perspective a little later on once they were pulled into this, but like just the content of it, and I don't know what it was about it, because again, it was from a civilian's point of view. It was from Joe's point of view. It had nothing to do with like actual law enforcement, but it just reminded me of something that I would see on like one of those episodes, like just the storyline behind it. So I absolutely loved it. And I don't know how to put it. It definitely was a thriller, but it just seemed like a different vibe. Like I've read plenty of thrillers that are like very fast paced and high action, and this one wasn't exactly fast paced and high action the whole way, but it was like in such a good and well done way. Like it didn't drag out. It was just really done well, and I really enjoyed it. I am landing on 4 stars for The Life We Bury. I wouldn't quite say 5 stars, just because there were a few chapters, like around chapter like 32 or 33, somewhere around there, like a few chapters like back to back to back that just were a little too like descriptive. And that didn't throw me off from like the story. The story itself was great. It was just like, okay, I need to get this information, but like I kind of wanted to fast forward a little bit. I am a show don't tell type of person. Like there were things in there that could have easily been shown without having to like write a whole description of how this person did this thing and that thing, and so that was, but again, the story itself, the ending, it was just amazing, and I absolutely loved it. And Lindsey did say like she knew I would love this. And I did post on my Instagram, like reels or not my reels, my stories that like I was reading it. And then when I finished it and she commented, she's like, oh my God, I knew you would love it. So I absolutely loved it. And guys, it is a series, which somebody told me and I just found out. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be picking up the next book as soon as I can, because I got to see what Joe is doing in his next book in the series. So let me know down in the comments. What did you think? If you read this, did you enjoy it as much as I did? Have you read the series? Are the other books in the series, I think there was 2 more that I saw in the series, are they as good as this first one? I'd love to know. If you haven't read it and you are intrigued, let me know as well. If you just want to let me know that you were here and that you were supportive, but you didn't really want to comment because you're a little shy, then leave me some type of snow emoji, because there is a good portion of this book that takes place in the winter. And I think the cover is a winter setting. So yeah, leave me some kind of snow emoji, any kind of snow emoji down in the comments. Well, that's all I have for now. Make sure you check back to see who I ask for September and what that book would be. Bye.